draw hand set. When you're drawing your arrow, your bow, you've got 3 fingers. You want to go across these 3 fingers. Let me see if I can show this the right way. Where you're going to use really the pads of your fingers, but you're not gripping. If you're back here, then when you release, your string has to come all the way around those fingers. That creates inconsistency and that creates differences. You want to have these 3 fingers right across here, going across the pads of your arrows when you're draw hands. So when you are draw hand set means put these 3 fingers in the same place right here. So I'm in my stance. I knock. I check my alignment. Draw hand set. 3 fingers. They're below the arrow, below the knock of the arrow, and they're on the tip. They're on those tips. When we draw, this finger is going to take the vast majority of the weight of the string. These 2 fingers are here for backup support. We want to have it, and I'm going to grab this way, so we have one point, one curve in that drawstring. If we are grabbing with all 3 and have a wider area, the wider that curve is, the more inconsistent, because I can be shifting where I'm releasing, which changes the shape of the arrow, of the string, and it changes how that string is leaving. So this finger is going to take the most of the weight. It's not going to be wrapped around. Okay? So when we draw hand set, that's what we're looking for. Bow hand set. When we're looking at our bow hand, I see a lot of inconsistencies, and I think a lot of that comes from I'm concerned about dropping my bow. You don't have to worry about dropping your bow. These bows will stay in your hand. If you are concerned, there's a little hole right here. And NASP regulations allow you to get a wrist strap that's like a paracord, goes up, over, and down, and your hand goes through the wrist strap to hold it on there. I actually have one on my hunting bow. That way, if anything happens, I can let go of the bow and it's on my wrist. My wrist is going to hold it. So that's the first thing. If you're concerned about that, you can use that. Second, when you're drawing, we want to do this. Take your hand and say, stop. Look at how that hand is held. Now I'm not going to do this. Go off to the side. You want a 45-degree angle from your thumb to your index finger. We want that V. The bow is to set in that V. Take your fingers, come around, right here. Place them gently. These 2 fingers gently on the brace of the bow. Right here, okay? So that's the back side of where you're holding. Oddly, the face of the bow faces you. I don't know what the name is on this, honestly. Let's just laugh about that. So on this back side, these 2 fingers just come around gently and rest here. These fingers gently hang, or just maybe you touch the bow, maybe you don't. You need to be able to gently move these fingers off. Okay? The bow rests right there. That's how we want the bow to rest. As you see, it's going to, on its weight balance, it's going to fall back to you. It's not going to fall out forward. So that's how we want to hold it. And these knuckles are just out to the side. With that, when you've got your hand like that, your elbow can come back, out, and out of the way. Just gently like that. Do not wrap around. Here's the reason. Why do people get injured? Why do they have bruises here. When you draw, if you're gripping, if you've got your hand nice and tight, you're bringing that bow over, that string is coming over to your arm. You also have that your arm is locked in, elbow turned in. You have that. When you draw, you're pulling the arrow in the opposite direction. No, you're just pulling the string in the opposite direction, so the whole bow shifts. When you release, that grip, torque, it puts torque on the bow, brings it back over, that string travels in and scrapes your arm. People who have to wear an arm sleeve are generally those who are holding the bow incorrectly, but there's more than just getting injured. If that string goes over, now you're shifting where that arrow is going. Depending on where it hits in your arm, now it's bouncing the arrow on the string back and forth, and you will have an inconsistent, that you will see that in your resulting arrows in the target will have a wider result hit on the target. So holding the bow, draw hand set, bow's in here, fingers nice and gentle. That's what we want to see. Then you keep it that way through the rest of the process. Okay? So that's how you hold it, nice and gentle. No gripping, nice and gentle. Now that's where, if you're concerned about dropping the bow, that's where you can get that wrist strap, hold it on there, it'll stay on your arm, don't have to worry about it. Trust the draw. If you don't trust that it's going to stay there, then you can trust the wrist strap to hold it in place and not worry about it. Okay? So that's right there. That's your bow hand. That's how you have your bow hand set. So when you're doing that, you've got your draw hand set, you've got your bow hand set with that angle. There you go. Bow hand set, draw hand set.